game on the Nintendo Switch that just released that's called the Otterman Empire. Now, I didn't know anything about this game. It's not a game that was on my radar or anything, but I saw the trailer and then I looked into the store and I was like, this looks like something perfect that I would like to show on this channel and review, because obviously it's a local multiplayer game. It's on the Switch, something that I'm a really big fan of on this channel. And I wanted to take a look at it, and it had some interesting mechanics in it. It looked like it was like, you know, had some different mission types that you're playing from round to round. It looked like it had some interesting movement mechanics that you're using with your character. So I was instantly intrigued. So did it live up to my expectations? Let's go ahead and find out.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, here we are with the Otterman Empire. So this is a really cool game that I'm going to show you guys here today, and this is basically a really fantastic local multiplayer game with some really unique twists on how the game how you actually move your character and how the rounds are actually played. And I want to start with the campaign mode to give you a little bit of insight of how the game actually plays when you're moving your character around. And then we'll get into the verses, which is my favorite way to play the game. So, campaign mode, if we enter into here, it's kind of like the way that Overcooked does their levels and stuff. You get a star ranking based on how well you do in that level. And you could play these games multiplayer, local multiplayer, or local co-op, I should say, with a friend if you want to do it. And it obviously makes it easier if you have a friend at your side to help you, do these objectives. And each one of these levels is going to be in a different map. So, you'll have different maps that you'll play in that it will rotate on. And it will also have different objectives that you'll rotate on. So let's go ahead and show you a little bit. Let's dive into 1-2 so you can see a little bit of what the movement style is like in this game. So you can select your character in here, and there is a lot of unlockables in the game. You can unlock skins, you can unlock different characters, and each character has its own unique ability as well. Depending on which character you're actually using, they each have a unique special ability. And the way that the special abilities work in this game is they basically power up as the match progresses, and as you're killing things and as you're doing objectives, the meter fills, and once the meter is full, you can use your ability, basically. Kind of similar how most games do it. So it looks like in this objective here, the objective we're doing in this one is there's a ship that's going to be hovering above us, and we have to go ahead and demolish it. Where is the ship here? Here it is. So you can see here, we can shoot. You can see we're doing our damage here. And as you're doing that, you also got these guys here, but more importantly, you run out of ammo. If you look at the bottom there, you see the blue bar and the red bar and the green bar. The blue would be my hover. So I can jetpack around the level just like this. And then you can see the blue meter is depleting. The orange would be my ammo. And if you want to refill those, you actually have to go into a water stream that's around the map. And you actually dive into the water, and that's how those two refill. So that's kind of how you refill your ammo and such. And then you could dive out of here into the map and shoot this and keep damaging it as you need to. Also, you have to worry about these enemies that are around you, so you can shoot those as well. And I just got killed. And that's basically an objective in this map. You're trying to, kill this ship and basically take it down. You can see here I'm doing the damage on the ship. So I just got a point for killing it once. So that's good. I need to dive into this water here. And you can see there's turrets that are here. And I really like some of the movement. So if you double tap B, you can actually do a little bit of a dive. And that's a quick way to get around the map and stuff. So I really and get out of the way of things that may be shooting you and stuff. So I really like that as well. As far as the movement system. And the game runs really well as far as the frame rate and stuff. As you're playing, it runs really well. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Let's go ahead and get some more. Got another point. I'm getting shot by the people next to me. Where'd the ship go? Oh, just got killed. 30 seconds left. We only got 1 star, but that's fine. I was just trying to show you guys how this works. I wasn't trying to go for a high score right now. So yeah, being able to dive and then hover in the air is just really cool. Oh, out of ammo. Dive right back in. Alright, so we didn't do that well on that level, but it still gives you an idea of what the movement system is like and what you're going to be doing. So that's basically how the campaign actually works. Each level that you're playing has a different objective. This one was taking down the ship from above. And, you know, like I said, you could do it with a friend and do it in co-op if you want to play with your friend. And each one's going to have a different objective. Now, on that same philosophy as far as doing different objectives, the versus mode, where you can actually play with 4 of your friends and do versus mode, lets you pick from the 8 maps that are in the game. So let's say we did Tiki Gardens. And asks you if you want to do the objectives. So you could just play straight up local deathmatch if you want and just kill each other for the most kills and not do any of the objectives. But the objective is really what sets this game apart, because the rounds are always changing to different objectives every time they finish. And these are the ones that you could pick from right now. So the first one, collect the ball and put it through their hoops, shoot the active target to earn points, collect the detonator and keep moving, collect batteries to power the bank, capture the zone to earn points, capture the zone to earn points by repairing the robot, shoot down the incoming ships and bombs, which is the one we just did, dodge through the hoop to destroy the laser and stuff like that. And then each one of you guys can select, you know, these different ones that you want to do. So if you want to, you know, select this one here, hoop dive, and then we did the target range, and then we did the hoop one if we want, and then the other person would select theirs if they want to do it. And then the match basically starts. Alright, so the first one we're doing is King of the Hill. We all know how King of the Hill works. Obviously, I'm not playing with another person right now, so this is just to show you how the games would work, because obviously the other person is not obviously playing. But you can see on the map, so you can come in here, objective has started, and this is the now point that you need to capture, obviously. Just like you would a King of the Hill match. So I'm getting points just by standing here. You can see my points are going up. And the other person standing over there. So, and you do this for 1 minute and 40 seconds. And then the objective, of course, changes. Now we got another King of the Hill spot. And you can use all your abilities while you're doing this. So you can hover, you know, take flight if you want with the jetpack, like we were talking about before. Shoot your enemies from above. You can dive out of the way with that B button. That's really cool to get around the map. Or use your special ability. You know, you have to keep in mind you still have to dive into that water to get your ammo back and stuff when you need it. And your fuel too for the jetpack, which you're also going to need as well. And then you get the 1 minute countdown, and you kind of go back and forth, which of course with up to 4 people, and you're doing this objective for 1 minute. And now you can see the next one is a different one that we're picking. So now it's rotating between, and now we're doing a free-for-all, you know, trying to now capture that ship. So you can see each round is obviously changing based on what we're actually doing. So now we have 2 minutes of going through this, and now we have to kill the ship, and the objective starts, and now we're both going after that ship in the air that we were doing before. We're both trying to, you know, take it down, get as many points as possible, while, you know, shooting each other and worrying about each other around the map, but also taking these objective points as well. Now we go into the next round, and now this is the detonator, you know, mechanic here. So you have to go around the map and grab these objectives and detonate the bombs. So you basically have to find the objective, grab this bomb. So you can see that each one of these objectives is different. So I'm holding the objective down right now just by holding the actual bomb in my hand. I'm getting points just by moving around and you know, holding it down. So obviously the other person would have to come kill me and grab that for themselves. But yeah, you go through a bunch of different rounds, and then, you know, when you're done with all these rounds, and then of course you get to the end here and you get your points and determine who the winner is. So I really like this because every round is basically a different game mode that you're playing. So I really like that. and really like what they're doing with the actual local multiplayer aspect of this game. But I do have some, some things that I wish they could improve and some add to the game. But let's go ahead and get to the table. Let me give you guys my final thoughts on this game, and if it's actually a game I recommend to you guys. Let's go ahead and do it now.
Alright guys, so that was Otterman Empire on the Nintendo Switch. Now, you guys know that we're big fans of local multiplayer games on here, and I'm a big fan of the Nintendo Switch because of that. And this game pretty much hits all those marks as far as a great local multiplayer party game. You can play with 4 people right on the Nintendo Switch, right on the TV screen there, 4-player split screen. And what sets this game apart from all the other games that I've talked about on the Switch so far on this channel is the different modes that you play round to round. I like the fact that each mode feels different and you're playing a different mode. And not only is it cool that the modes are always changing while you're playing and then you get a total score at the end on who actually won based on all those modes you played, but what I also like is the fact that the movement system is cool. I like the fact that you can, double tap the button to kind of dash forward and do a spiral to dash in a certain direction. Really cool. One of the modes where you actually have to dive through a ring, and that's kind of what you have to do. I like the mechanic where you have to dive into the water, and that's how you kind of refill your ammo. It's a new thing that you have to worry about, and be able to fly around and use your jetpack is just something additional that you have to worry about. I like the fact that each character has its own special ability that makes each one of them feel unique, that you unlock as you progress. And the fact that it actually has a campaign mode. Even though I like the versus mode the best, the campaign mode is good. It introduces you to the mechanics, introduces you to the different game modes, and you can play it with the friends. So if you only have 2 people, the multiplayer is not exactly as exciting with just 2 people as it would be, of course, with 3 or 4. So you do still have the campaign that you can play with someone else instead and kind of take on those missions and try to get the high stars. So I like that both those options are in there, both versus and campaign mode. Now, as far as the graphic style works really well. Didn't have any issues with the lag or anything like that. I do find it a little bit weird. Maybe it's just me that the B button is the start button, or like I'm used to A being like the start button for all these games, and they made B like the actual start button. But either way, it doesn't really matter as far as nitpicking for that. But what I do want to see added into the game in the future is I really wish that they had local, multiplayer as far as like on each Switch. So if my wife owned the game and I own the game, we can each play on our individual Switch. Right now, the only way you could play multiplayer is just on the same screen, 4-player split screen. But I'd like to see them add that because that's like a staple feature for the Switch, and I love that feature that you can all have multiple Switches and each person plays on their Switch and have like a local lobby going on. So I hope that they add that. There, of course, is no multiplayer. I heard rumblings from their YouTube channel that that's something that they're looking into. So hopefully that's something that they add as well to be able to play online with others. And of course, just keep adding more modes and more maps. I mean, the more modes you have, the more maps you have, the more fresh the game becomes, and the longer we can keep playing it. So, of course, that's an obvious one to be able to add in there. But I like what's here. It's definitely going to be in my rotation of games that we play here at the house when we are playing with the Switch and trying to do local multiplayer. Definitely sets itself apart with the way that the movement system works with the characters, and it gives it some longevity with the campaign and the multiplayer, all the unlockables that you have with the skins and the characters you can unlock. So really, really like this one. It's definitely a game I urge you guys to check out. There's a lot of content in here with the campaign and the multiplayer and all those unlockables for the price. And I definitely think it's one you guys should check out. If you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen here today, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a recce is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.